like mine. So how is it going, everybody? You're watching Then About Tech. So let's say you forgot your iPhone passcode. And by iPhone passcode, I mean this, the lock screen passcode. So maybe your iPhone is just like mine, so it's fully working, it's fully functional, but you forgot the passcode, so you can't get in, you can't have access to your iPhone. Or maybe even worse, you have tried the passcode so many times that the iPhone is like that, disabled, as you can see. So your iPhone is disabled, and it may be disabled for 1, 5, 15 minutes or hours. It doesn't matter, because I'll help you out. In this video, I'll show you how to actually remove the forgotten passcode and create a new one. It's absolutely amazing. It always works, and this process works for every single iPhone model, from the iPhone 1 all the way up to the iPhone 12 Pro Max, which is the latest upon the recording of this video. This video is also updated to iOS 14. As you know, we are in 2021, so it's the most updated video so far. But before I continue, two very, very important pieces of information. First, this video follows the Apple official tutorial. So this is actually how Apple recommends us to deal with this situation on a forgotten passcode. So this is very important. And also, this video will only work, this method, this tutorial will only work if the iPhone is yours. So if you're not the owner of the iPhone, it just won't work. You'll just waste your time. It just won't work, trust me. So do it only if it's your iPhone, you have forgotten the passcode, and you want to actually create a new one, right? So without further ado, let's begin. So, in order to remove a forgotten passcode, you will need a computer, as you can see, but don't worry, because it can be a Mac, like I'm using, or you can use a Windows PC, so no matter what computer you have, it will work. On top of that, it doesn't even need to be your computer, so you can borrow a computer from a friend, a family member, or even a public one. It's okay, you can use any computer for this. If you're using a Mac, you don't need to download any software, but if you're using a PC, you will need to download iTunes, and of course I'll put the link in the description. And as you know, iTunes is a free software made by Apple, so you can trust it, you can download it and install it, no problem. Now, let's begin. And the first thing we'll need to do, that everyone will need to do, is open your browser. So open your favorite browser and go to this website, ipsw.me. Again, I'll have the link in the description for this website. And you may ask me, oh Daniel, but why are we going to this website? What are we doing here? We're actually downloading the iOS, so the operating system for our iPhone. That's the best way to do it nowadays. Before, we didn't used to do it. We let iTunes do its thing, but now I do recommend that you follow this tutorial. It's much better. I do recommend it. Okay, so go ahead and go to ipsw.me and then click on iPhone, and then you're gonna pick your iPhone model. And it's very important that you know your iPhone model, because later on this video you will need to know your iPhone model. Okay, so if you don't know, make sure to check your box or look it up. It's important that you know what iPhone you have. All right, in my case, I'll do this on my iPhone 12 Pro Max, as you can see here. But as I said in the beginning of this video, this tutorial will work for any and all iPhone models, and I'll teach you how to do it on any and all iPhone models. That's why I have this older iPhone right here. So I'll teach you from the iPhone 1 to the iPhone 12 Pro Max. There are 3 different methods depending on what version of the iPhone you have, so I got you covered, okay? But for this video, I'll actually do it for the 12 Pro Max, so that's why I download this version. So you click on your iPhone model, and then you'll see what iOS version you're downloading. So pick the one that's green. If you go ahead and download older versions, those are unsigned versions. They will not work, okay? So you'll need to get the latest version right here, all right? So tap on that, and then hit download on the blue button. I have already done that, of course, so I already have it right here, so I can close this window. And what actually recommend you to do is just go ahead and drag the file to your desktop. It'll make your life much easier later on, right? So now you already have the software. So if you are a Mac user, you don't need to download anything. If you are a PC user, you have already downloaded and installed iTunes, and we have already downloaded the operating system, so iOS. So now we are good to go and actually start the process itself. As I said, I'll show you all the different methods for all the different devices, and I'll start with the older devices first and go all the way up to the newest ones. All right, so as I said, there are three different methods. Method number one goes for the iPhone 1, so the very first iPhone, all the way to the iPhone 6s and 6s Plus and the iPhone SE first generation. Okay, so this is method number one. As you're seeing on the screen, I'm putting all iPhone models that follow this first method. All right, this is actually an iPhone 8, as you can see, but unfortunately I don't have an iPhone 6 or 6s, so we'll all have to pretend this is an iPhone 6, for example, okay, or older. You got it, right? So the first thing we'll need to do is actually turn off the iPhone. Doesn't matter if it's like that, so it's fully functional, or if it's disabled. As I said, this will work on both scenarios. Okay, so turn it off, and to do that, you will hold the power button and then slide to power off. So there you go. Maybe your power button will be right here at the top. You do the same, hold, and then slide to power off. We'll actually need to completely turn off the device. After a few seconds, it's completely off, and then we'll actually plug it into the computer. I do recommend that you use an authentic Apple cable and make sure it's fully working, because otherwise you may run into issues, all right? So then you're gonna plug into the computer, and then of course you're gonna grab the other end and plug into the iPhone. But before you plug it in, that's the difference between the method 1, method 2, and method 3. It's what button you press when you plug in, all right? So you turn off the iPhone, and then when you plug in, as you plug in, you will actually press and hold the home button. As you can see, again, this is an iPhone 8, so it doesn't press when it's off, but if you're doing this right, and if you have an iPhone 6 or an iPhone 5 or 6s, you have a physical button, so when you press, it actually goes in. So then you're gonna press and hold, and then plug it in, right? So plug it in while you hold. And you're gonna keep holding until you see the recovery screen. Again, this will not work because this is an iPhone 8, and this is the wrong method for this iPhone, but this is just a demonstration. So that's why the iPhone will turn on normally, not in recovery mode, but you get the idea, right? Now, we'll do method number 2. And method number 2 is only for the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus. So it's a dedicated method just for 2 devices. And it's kind of the same thing, but there's a difference on the button we press and hold, okay? So if you have an iPhone 7, you do the exact same thing. So you press and hold the power button in order to turn off the iPhone. So you will turn off the iPhone. Again, let's pretend this is an iPhone 7 or 7 Plus. And as soon as the iPhone turns off completely, the screen is completely blank, we'll do the exact same thing, plug into the computer and plug into the iPhone, but instead of pressing and holding the home button, since the iPhone 7 has a virtual home button, just like my iPhone 8 here, we won't press the home button. We'll actually press the volume down. So for the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus, method number 2, we will hold down the volume down while we plug it in. Okay, so I'll plug it in and hold here the volume down. Plug it in and holding, and that's what I'm doing. Again, sorry that I don't have an iPhone 7 with me, and this will not work again because this is an iPhone 8. So it'll just turn on normally, but if you have an iPhone 7, you do this as I show you, you will see the recovery mode screen. So this is method number 2. Now we can finally go for method number 3. And this one will work because I actually have an iPhone 12 Pro Max here with me that follows the method number 3. Method number 3 is for the iPhone 8 and up. So iPhone 8 and 8 Plus, iPhone 10, 10R, 10s, XS Max, 11, 11 Pro, 11 Pro Max, 12, 12 Mini, 12 Pro, and 12 Pro Max. I got that all from my heart. Yeah, so all those devices follow method number 3, and again, you have it on the screen just to make sure that your device will follow the correct method to make sure this will work. All right, so in order to make this work on method number 3, you guessed it, we'll have to turn off the iPhone. So to turn off the iPhone 8 and up, we'll have to actually press and hold the power button and volume down or volume up. So press and hold both of them, and then we have the turn off screen. We can slide to power off and then let it completely turn off. It just takes like 5 to 10 seconds. And then we can finally do this. I can finally show you in action. As you can imagine, method number 3 will also require us to press a button while plugging in the cable. And the button for those newer devices will be the power button, the side button right here on your right side. So you will press and hold as you plug in. You gotta do it like at the same time, simultaneously, okay? So I'm just gonna do it. Yeah, so pressing, and I have plugged in. So as I said, for all those 3 methods, we'll have to keep pressing the dedicated button until we see the recovery mode screen, which is this one. So as you can see, recovery mode screen, I can let go. I can put my iPhone right here.
The key to creating a legacy is never giving up. Whether it's your job, your daily life,
and then we can get started, and we will not need to play with the iPhone until we're almost done. So make sure you have space to leave your iPhone. Don't be touching it, don't mess with the cable or play with the cable or anything, because this may cause the process to fail. So make sure to do it as I'm doing it. Leave it on the table, don't play with the cable, nothing. Leave it like that. So as soon as you put your iPhone in recovery mode, as you can see here, which will be a cable pointing to your computer, maybe depending on your iOS version, it may be pointing to an iTunes logo, but it's all the same thing. Your software on your computer will pop up saying that there's a problem with your iPhone that needs it to be restored, and yeah, that's what we need to do. So if we're using iTunes, so if you have a PC, this pop-up will happen in iTunes. If it doesn't happen on your PC, make sure to manually go ahead and open iTunes. So go ahead here, look for iTunes and open it up, and you will see this screen. If you're doing this on a Mac, you will get this message automatically. So as I said, you will see a warning screen, a pop-up screen, and what you need to do is just cancel that first screen. Just cancel. It may be different on yours. Of course, we have many different operating systems, maybe different versions of iTunes, but the message will be pretty much the same. Just cancel that first message. And then somewhere on your screen, you will see iPhone in recovery mode, and you will have 2 options, an option to update and an option to restore iPhone. Again, it may be a little bit different, maybe it will be here or here or here, but it's the same. The steps are exactly the same no matter what. And I have to explain you this because this is very important. Unfortunately, the only way to actually fix this, to remove your forgotten passcode and then reset it, so create a new one, is to actually restore the iPhone. So you actually need to restore your iPhone. There's no other way. Unfortunately, that's the way to do it. And by restoring, it means that you will lose all your data. So your iPhone will be completely deleted, and then you have a blank, brand new iPhone. Of course, you'll not lose everything because we have iCloud and we have backups and things like that. But if you don't have a backup, if you don't have anything saved on your iCloud or even on your iTunes backup, unfortunately, you will lose your data, and there's no other way to do it, okay? If you've forgotten the passcode, you will need to restore your iPhone. Trust me, that's the only way. Alright? Unfortunately. If for some reason you don't want to do this anymore, you regret putting your iPhone in recovery mode, relax. It's very easy to exit recovery mode. You don't need to do anything pretty much. All you gotta do is just unplug. So unplug your iPhone from your computer and your iPhone will go back to normal in about 15 minutes. So just unplug it, leave it. In 15 minutes, it will be back. Of course, it will be passcode locked, so if you don't remember the passcode, you won't gain access to it, it won't work, but it will automatically exit recovery mode if that's what you want. So let's continue, and the process itself is extremely easy and it'll just take a couple minutes. All right, all you gotta do is actually go ahead and tap on restore iPhone, but it won't be a normal tap, it won't be a normal click, because we'll actually need to restore with this iOS that we have downloaded. Remember, we have manually downloaded. Yep. And in order to restore with this software, we'll have to actually press a button. If you have a Mac, you click on Option on the keyboard, and while clicking on Option, click on Restore iPhone. So then, as you can see, you will see a pop-up window. If you're doing this on Windows, it will be pretty much the same thing, but instead of clicking on Option on your keyboard, you click on Shift. So click on Shift, and then normal click on restore. It will be a left click, so a normal click on restore, and then this window will pop up. All right, so you're gonna go to desktop because we have put it on the desktop, remember. So go to desktop, select the file and open, and then it will say that it will erase and restore your iPhone to the latest version, which is iOS 14.4.2 at the moment of recording of this video. All right, so restore. Again, you will lose all your data, as I have mentioned just a couple minutes ago, but that's the only way to do it, unfortunately. Now, you will see a loading bar. Maybe it will be here, maybe it will be here, depending on, again, what version you have, what operating system you're using. But again, the screens are pretty much the same, and the point is, we don't even need to do anything. All you gotta do is let the computer and iTunes do its thing, okay? So just let it do its thing, and let's wait. And so, in just a couple minutes, we're done. As you can see, we have the hello screen on the iPhone, meaning that it's done. As you can see, we have the first setup screen here on the iPhone, that very first screen that we see when you buy it new. And right now, you can actually go ahead and start setting up your iPhone. Again, we have fixed the issue. That's done. We have removed the forgotten passcode, and you can just set it up as you would create a new passcode. Again, if you have a backup, that's the time where you can actually restore from your backup and get all your information back. If you don't have a backup or anything, unfortunately, as I said, you will lose all your data, but at least you got your iPhone back without the passcode. And please, this time, create a more memorable passcode or write it down somewhere or something, so you don't have to do this process again. So that's pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to hit the like button down below, and more importantly, the subscribe button down below. So that's pretty much it, and I'll see you guys in a few days as usual. Bye bye.